the goal of
Mm,
a VC, right? Your goal is to invest in a business in like a significant way and get a return on that investment, right? That's the
right.
fucking job, right? And they're seeing it here and they're like, wait, I can invest in this business. And now instead of waiting 5 years to get a return on my investment, I can trade 50 ETH in 2 minutes, right?
Right.
And so it's that sort of like same mentality. And I think, I don't know, like I don't think it's a good thing. I feel like it's misguided. Like I feel like it's not purposeful and, doesn't put some good out there in the world. But again, like VCs don't really care about putting good out there in the world. They care about making a return on their investment. So I guess they're successful. So yeah, I
Damn.
don't know.
Damn. And you can almost equate like the VCs to like the major influencers right now. And what people are not realizing is those major influencers, they've already made it in something. They didn't just make it because of NFTs. They had money to start with in this space, and it's their funny money, their play around money, and they were able to buy into a high floor and have done what they've done. And people try to follow that, and they don't have the bankroll. People are just
Yeah.
using money that they don't have. And I think that's why we're seeing, I don't know if you agree with this, but I think that's why we're seeing so much bickering. People are revealing their true colors because they didn't really have the money to get involved in this space as they are. And now they're like, oh, fuck, what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah. People are trying to kind of like get back to where they were, or, make up for their losses or things like that. And like, again, then it does. It goes back to gambling, which is sort of the narrative around the space and why people look at it negatively, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to make up your odds, like, oh, I'll just get in on the next one and I'll make it back. Like that's
Yeah.
the exact same mentality, about sitting at the poker table or whatever, right?
Right.
Um, and so like I think the narrative needs to change, and I think there needs to be more good money, put into projects that are making a change and making a difference. And again, like, people, being a little bit more precious with their personal bags. I guess, right? Like you said, like I don't buy into that many projects anymore. Only like if I know someone or did a thing or whatever. And again, like I think we're gonna move that direction, at least as far as the quote unquote like retail investors, like normal human investors are concerned. Because again, like if you're in a project and you like the community, you like the art, you have some, you care about, the utility or the access to something, like whatever, like then you don't care about making money. It's just sort of like, I'm here for this thing that is here. I'm paying $50 to be a part of this club that I care about, right? Like people do that all the time in real life, and like I don't know, like I think that's worthwhile.
100%. I mean, people pay tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars to be part of networking groups and part of organizations and shit like that. And you can freaking buy $150 NFT and be part of some shit like that and get such a different level of connections than you ever would have in the real world. And I think that's the importance of this space. People aren't taking enough opportunities to get out of the silo to go and have difficult conversations during these difficult times. People don't want to communicate, and they just want to want to communicate by showing their opinions on floor price. And that's just not how it works.
Yeah, it's not. But I will say, in terms of connections, man, like I've made incredible connections since I joined the space. Like I said, like, oh, like I know a VC guy who I could talk to about this. Like, would I have known a VC guy like in real life? Like I don't know, probably not. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure where we're headed. I don't know how we change it. So I don't have
Well,
answers.
well, speaking of where we're
But yeah,
headed, I mean, like, okay, let me preface this with this. I truly believe IRL wise is about to get real hairy. Like real hairy post holiday season. I listened to a lot of Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote Rich Dad Poor
rich
Dad.
dad, poor dad.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, y'all ain't even y'all ain't even ready for this shit. And I listen. He's
I'm
smart. I'm
definitely
not.
not. I'm
Yeah,
100% not ready for anything.
I'm not either. But hey, I have a stepdad that is ready to rock and roll. So all I got to do is hop in the truck, drive down south a couple hours, and your boy's all good to go. And hey, they got internet down there, so I'll just we can pack up. Me and
Incredible.
Matilda, we'll keep doing what we got to do. But
I know they had internet in Illinois. Wild.
but oh, you asshole. There, I
You're
was
outside of
listening to this.
Chicago, am I right though?
Yeah, no, it ain't great. I'll tell you that. It ain't stupendous. But crypto, NFTs definitely have never seen an IRL like depression, full recession. The White House is still adamant on the fact that we are not in a recession, which
they have to be adamant about it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Y'all just keep saying what you got to say. But have we seen the bottom of crypto? Is crypto about to flex its deflationary ability? Like, yo, check it out. We ain't fucking going nowhere. Or are we going to see another dip? Have we hit the bottom? What are you thinking on that?
I don't know. Whatever. I'll start with saying I don't know. Period. Like, I have no idea.
Same, I don't really either. It's just interesting to think about.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen really Bitcoin is only the only supposed real inflation hedge, right? And so I don't know that there's enough adoption and enough education that's been done around that for that to exist right now. It still sort of trades in tandem with the traditional markets, right? And I think if we see another significant leg lower, we're going to see another significant leg lower in crypto, because it's still considered a risk asset, right? And NFTs are at the even further end of that. And so it's all right, when things are going bad, people aren't investing in crypto. It's too freaking risky, right? They're supposedly, it's the safest. It's supposed to be bonds, but that's not doing well. I mean, nowhere is safe right now.
Nothing.
So
Nothing.
I don't know. Don't do what I did. Keep your day job. As best you can is my recommendation. As long as you have some income coming in, you just stay patient, average into the markets, whether it's crypto or traditional, your call. Buy a little bit every week, every month, and then just kind of ride it out. That's my 2 cents. I did have another question, unless you want to respond to that before I ask my question.
No, I go for broke. I love it.
Cool. All right, I'll go for broke. All right, so we just talked about education, right? Is there a lack of education in the space? And I think when we were in Charleston, I was rocking my BAYC hoodie, like I do. And this has happened a couple times where people have asked me Bored Ape Yacht Club, what's that? And honestly, I'm not sure how to answer them. How do I answer them?
I was wondering if that's what you were going to say.
Yeah. Do I tell them it's an exclusive club? Is it an NFT community? What is it? Right. And so this is the opportunity for education where I could tell them all about it, but I don't have a lot of time. Nobody's going to listen to me freaking spout off about the yacht club for an hour. I have 2 sentences, right, to tell them what this thing is. And I've been a member for over a year now, and I still don't know how to talk about it. And I tweeted it out. I got a couple answers. I think the most clear answer that someone put was that it's a New York based streetwear brand, which doesn't even begin to encompass it, but I guess that's in language that people can understand. So I don't know, how do you answer the question?
I ask this almost every damn guest now, Duncan. Number one, are you actively working to bring people in the space? The number one answer is usually a resounding hell no. And I always follow up with, if so, how? And the very token few people that say yes, or is it just a stumble upon situation like that where it just so happens? I used to explain it as the whole trading card, basically having baseball cards, but now it's stored on the blockchain. It's a whole different identity. It's forever there. It can never be duplicated, can never be replicated, but it also has benefits to holding this card. So just if you had a Ken Griffey card, now instead of just having the value of the Ken Griffey card, maybe you get to go to batting practice every other Saturday or one Saturday a month with Ken Griffey or whatever. But trying, and DJ Wiener said this yesterday, I think trying to, and I didn't know before I go on that, Wiener came from him drawing dachshunds or dachshunds, Wiener dogs is literally how we got DJ Wiener. And I had no fucking idea. We found that out yesterday on the show. Absolutely electric. But I think the only way is relating it to something like that, right? They understand. He was like, oh, if you're a businessman, I can connect with you on the IP. Are you looking for a logo? You trying to brand a new product that you got and you don't know what the hell to use, but you want to have something that maybe 2,500 people resonate with out of a 10K collection, bam, here's your whatever, you know? And I think that, and I think about a story Cody and Jenna from the Woke Zombies told me. They were at a concert with Davey Oberlin, who has the NFT Boneheads. He's a lead keyboardist, and I think he does some vocals too for Korn. But they were in the crowd, and they saw like the NFTs on their shirt, and this couple came up to him and was like, "Oh, is that NFTs, whatever?" And they started to go back and forth, and the guy was like, "Geez, I thought at this point in time I'd be so far out overpriced, like I was so outpriced I couldn't get in. I would never be able to even figure it out." And they, Cody and Jenna, both just started laughing. Like, this is the perfect time. And I guess my closing thought on that is I had a trip home from Midway Airport to my house here, and it's about 30-minute drive, 45 minutes with traffic. And my Uber driver looked in the rearview mirror as soon as I got in, and, "Hey, how you doing? What do you do?" I kind of smiled, and I was like, fuck, how is this one gonna go? And I was just like, well, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a podcaster, I'm a content creator, an entrepreneur, and an investor, mainly centered in the Web3 space and pushing it forward. And his eyes lit up, and he looked back, and he says, "Is that NFTs and crypto stuff?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Isn't that dead?" was the first thing he said.